Hello, this is Annalise again. I'm here to walk you guys through my biome classroom. So we're going to go through it first as students would see it, just to kind of get an idea of what we have. The title page is just kind of introduction. It has me here, Miss Annalise, and that is my mom, Miss Deb. I'm a teaching artist. My mom teaches elementary school, and I help her out often with projects and builds like this because I'm pretty well versed in online equipment and programs, and I know that that's not necessarily a huge area of knowledge for a lot of teachers who are coming online now. So, to start out, we have a nice little introduction video embedded. Right here, we have what is a biome. If you click on these, it'll take you to a little slideshow that has some good basic information on biomes. This class is originally made for 4th grade kids, but I think it's simple enough to show to some younger kids, and also the links that I have for exploring are in the more complex range, so I think older kids can enjoy it too. I'll go to these real quick. We have the video lounge. This has some extra videos. I wanted to highlight a lot of kids so that kids can see other kids in different environments, kids who are passionate about animals, and also, Steve Irwin, very great man. Gotta include that when we're talking about nature, really. Some cool documentaries that Netflix put up on YouTube for free. Coyote Peterson is a great person for information on animals. If you don't know about him, he's kind of a more new age Steve Irwin. He's pretty cool. I think that there are quite a few kids who watch him probably. And then we have an Inuit short film and a cool film Scholastic did that shows a family kind of living like their ancestors did for a fun activity. So we can go back to class. These are in every slide, things that take you kind of back to where you came from. We have a music lounge that has some stuff, some cool stuff from Shutkat. He is a really, really cool musician. I highly recommend checking him out. Also, I added these paintings, have links to an article. These paintings are done by a 12-year-old boy, and an article about him, because I think that's cool. It's cool to see kids who can do things, and I think it's somewhat inspiring too. Feel free to look through the videos. That's another important thing. Click through every single video, not only on these slides, but in all slides, to make sure that they are allowed by your school district. A lot of these we had to allow. Some of them you may decide, you know what, I want a different video here if you have one in mind, if you don't like the content of one. I know this is one that I think is funny. I think it's great, but you may not. You may say, you know what, I don't want my kids to be singing that annoying song. I'm going to pick a new one. And then we also have the game lounge. This has some cool games. I really enjoy all of these. Some of them are a little old. This actually isn't a game. It just tells you about the biomes used in Minecraft, because Minecraft costs money, but a lot of kids nowadays know of Minecraft and play Minecraft. It's a good summary to relate it to. And then we have an activity here, how to make a nature journal, and then a woman showing an activity you can do for the journal as an idea. And then Aiden the zoologist has some of his books that he's written in about animals. It's a cool thing to go and check out because you can see kind of some ideas of how other kids do it. Also, before we get into exploring, learning goals down here. These are just the learning goals for our specific class, but it's pretty easy to edit this slide. You can put in whatever you want. Our final project is kids are going to draw Santa, but they're going to reimagine him as if he were in different biomes, because he comes from a cold place, so what would his outfit look like if he lived in a different biome? So now let's get exploring. You can click on the globe, you can click on this, you can click on these arrows, but they will all take you to this biome map. For this course we have 8. This shows kind of a basic understanding of where they are. This is just an introduction, so I don't really have the mixing biomes that go in between these, but I think this is a good start. So let's start with tundra. This is the tundra. Every room is kind of designed to be like a house or something you would find within that biome, because I think one of the things I wanted to highlight is how people live in the biomes, especially with our assignment. But I know as a kid I definitely lacked more human connection to a lot of the people in the world. A lot of documentaries are kind of cold and disconnected from the people that they're observing. So I wanted to really put in stuff from the people and things of people being people, you know, just stuff that is like, oh cool, I do that stuff too, even though some of this is different. So we have like, you know, you get to watch a mukbang, which if you don't know what that is, you can watch and learn. A short film by an Inuit filmmaker, some fun games, some live streams. This is awesome. I'm going to show you this real quick. I love this site, but every room has a 360 exploration thing outside of the room that you can go. You can click and drag and you can look around in that biome. A lot of them came from this website that has really awesome stuff, which means, you know, you can click. Oh, I didn't want to go there actually, but you can click and see close-ups, some information. You can, if you see the symbol, it'll take you to a new location to look around. There's all sorts of stuff to learn here and cool facts. They show scientists working a lot of times. These are great. I love these, but not everyone has one of these. I think Taiga is one of the ones that doesn't, and that'll be up next. So we can go back to map from here. And these are just kind of good introductions, good simple things to get you into it, and then everything else is just exploration for if kids want to learn more or look around. And I went through and watched them. I think they're all fine for kids, but you may disagree. Go ahead and have a look. Make sure that it's the content that you want your class to be seeing, and feel free to replace things if you want, but it is a little bit difficult to mess with these slides just because they're very complex. I'll show you this one. This is a 360 video. It's done by a travel company, but it's still in the taiga where you can look around while someone's on a husky sled, which is pretty cool. And there's another one here where you're up in a tree. You can look around in 360 while there's a grizzly down there. I'm just going to click through these real quick, kind of show you the content. It's all pretty good stuff. Got some Bill Nye. I have some games, some Wildcrats episodes. Make sure to, when you are going through, to make sure all these videos are okayed. This one, for example, you want to go to YouTube, watch on youtube.com, and that is where, I don't have it on my computer, but beneath this, it will say whether your school district can watch it or not. This one too, don't be fooled by the title of this. I think it's a great video. Please watch it fully and don't be fooled by the clickbaity title. It's called something like Danish Kids Get to Play with Knives or something, and it's like for a couple seconds they're whittling wood. But it's a great video. So watch it before you decide that you don't want it in the slides. So we'll go back to map. Tropical forest. Got some cool stuff here. All pretty basic. This is a storybook read aloud. I have those in some of them, some games. This is my favorite live cam that I found because it's usually active because they put fruit on it all day. You can take this out if you want. It takes you to a different slide. That's just kind of a connection thing with me so that the kids can learn about some of the stuff that I like, some of the stuff I grew up watching. Yeah. So we can go back to the map. Grasslands. Got some cool stuff here. Another 360 video. And this, my teachers made me play this game as a kid. This links to the Oregon Trail. I'm sure many of you are familiar. Kids, if they do want to play it, might need some help because it's not really common nowadays to do video games where you type a number and press enter to make your choice and actually play it. So just so you know, that's what it is. They might need help with it if they actually want to play it. Desert. Got some cool stuff. This is a great short film. 2 Steve Irwin episodes because he is often in the desert, and I really want to include him. I think he's someone that inspired me to be very into science and animals, and I think that can go for younger kids too. Savannah. Go outside over here. This My Africa is also a 360 video, but it goes along with a story, which is pretty cool. But you can look around and there's animals that'll come up close. The amazing Lupita Nyong'o narrates it. It's pretty cool. And we'll go back. Go to Marine. This is the last one. And we have some cute stuff. I did some snorkeling kids, some kids who live in Hawaii, cooking on the beach because, as far as I know, no one lives in the ocean. R.I.P. Atlantis. But, yep. And this is another, there's 2 360s here too, so this will take you to a Great Barrier Reef 360, and this is another story-based 360, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that's about it for the content. So now I'm going to take you into the slides and show you kind of how you can mess with it if you want. So these Bitmojis are pretty easy to mess with if you want. This invisible box is in front of them, so if you want to mess with them, you would probably, put this at the back. If you don't know how to do stuff like this, like changing the order of things, oops, I didn't send that to the back, I sent that backwards. You should probably look into some other technical videos before trying to customize this. This may be easier for everyone to just kind of use as is and have some guest teachers of me and my mom as the people, but these ones you can go in and affect. However, so for this one, for example, these are here, and then I have, so it's hard to explain a little bit, but I created this background, and I photoshopped in this door, and I saved it out as transparent. So here, behind the invisible box, we have this, which is us, our little Bitmojis, and there's also this, which, if I double click on it, if I can get just that. This, okay. No. This, yeah. So this is actually the background image cropped teeny tiny. It is this whole background image that has this part transparent, and I've cropped it down to this little area. So if I delete that, you can see our feet sticking out. So if you want to customize, put your Bitmojis in there, you have to make sure they are behind this little bit. This one just has a window in front of it. So if you take that away, here's our Bitmojis. Pretty easy to get them out of there. The biggest thing is you have to make sure when you put yours on that you scoot them down a layer to go behind this. And this is all some fairly advanced stuff. If you are struggling to understand any of this, you should probably look into some different videos first, videos about organizing the layers. But if you really want to change things and customize it and you are just completely lost, feel free to ask questions and I will do whatever I can to help. So if you grab this group, press Control, hit this, it lets go of it. Now you have all of that, but you can't really get rid of this background in your selection. It's a little bit difficult if you want to customize. It's not impossible, but it is hard. So this one again, we have this. A lot of these, like when we go down here, we have this tree leaf that goes over this window, which, you know, if I select it, it's got a big old box that goes all the way down here. If this was in front, usually on this, even if I clicked over here, I would get the tree. So what I did is, because I want that to overlap this window, made another invisible box that goes over this whole thing, and that's where the link is. So that's, if you see anything that has like overlapping stuff over the window, there's going to be an invisible box in front of it, as well as probably the window frame before the Bitmojis for your customization. And these, so if you just want to change links or words, these are just text boxes. You can change the text, but keep in mind, you know, this is a link, and I have added links to everything relevant in the area. This is an invisible box because this is a complicated area, but like this camera is a link as well as the text. They go to the same thing. So if you're changing links, make sure that you click around and change the link of everything in the area, because otherwise it's still going to kind of mix up and go to different areas. Yeah, other than that, I mean, a lot of these are complicated, but if you get it, mess with it. I'm sure you can get it. This is just like, you know, some of the Bitmojis are already cropped like that. I think this has a invisible box around it, but if you move it, you can see this one has been cropped. I took my legs off, and it just makes it look like we're sticking out the window. And this one too, this is another one where I had a background piece that has a transparency and cut out a little window, and behind that window is where this little image is. So you just gotta look out for that kind of stuff if you're going to customize. This one, unfortunately, this Bitmoji pose does not exactly exist. The poses exist, but there weren't really scuba poses, so I took the poses, put them into Photoshop, and found some pictures of scuba fins and masks and stuck those on our Bitmojis. So these are extra customized, and they would take work to duplicate, as well as we have a box around it. There is a circle here, and then the porthole before you get to the Bitmojis that you would be able to grab and move and change. So lots of elements, lots of stuff that would need to be scooted around if you wanted to change it. Also, the background for this, most of these objects are movable, but I did start kind of creating a background that I took a screenshot of. So the original for that background is way down at the bottom here, and it just has the simple wall background, plant, stool, chair, table, and chalkboard. So if you're trying to edit that slide and you're like, why isn't this stuff moving? It's because it's down here, and you would need to mess with this slide before messing with this top one. If you're publishing it and you don't need this slide, I suggest deleting it, because you don't need it and it just takes up space. But I know it's complicated. I apologize. I'm a little bit extra when it comes to doing anything, really. But I think it's a really cool space. I enjoy looking around it. It was really hard for me not to watch all of the videos that I picked, because I think they're really fun and entertaining. Child me would have loved this. Adult me loves this. And I did lots of research trying to make sure that it's fun, it's informative, and you get to see all sorts of cool stuff. You get to see some stories that highlight Indigenous experiences and some cool people from all over the world. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope your kids enjoy it. And thanks. Let me know if you have questions in the comments, and I'll see you later.